The WHO country rep warns that achievement means no room for complacency. Early diagnosis as the most effective way of preventing the spread of the disease should be intensified. As the world commemorates this day, stopping TB in one's life requires governments and development partners to increase and sustain political and financial commitments to TB control. This is vital to ensure everyone has access to TB prevention and treatment services in all countries of the region. Louis Mendy, GRTS.
Still on activities marking TB Day, the health journalists from various media houses gather at the National Leprosy and TB Program Office to receive training on the role of the media in raising our public awareness on the disease.
Aside each year to commemorate World Tuberculosis Day, a day Dr. Robert Koch announced in 1882 to the world that he discovered the cause of the incommunicable disease. The theme for this year's commemoration is Stop TB in My Lifetime. Collaborative efforts are needed to reduce transmission, morbidity and mortality rates of TB so that it is no longer a public health problem in the Gambia. Adama Jallo, Program Officer, National Leprosy and TB Control Program, in a briefing explained the objectives and strategies implemented and achievements made in the fight against TB. But according to him, political commitment is very key. Jallo also revealed the increase in treatment centers from 11 in 2006 to 35 centers in 2013. The National Leprosy and TB Program identified the need to conduct a nationwide survey of TB prevalence, with the Medical Research Council serving as technical partners to conduct the survey. The results of the survey would provide a reliable estimate of the true burden of TB in the country and enable planning and allocation of resources for TB control. This will further establish a baseline against which progress in TB control can be monitored. World Health Organization country representative Dr. Thomas Sukwa explained that until such a time is when TB is eliminated, World TB would remain a valuable opportunity to raise awareness about the devastation of TB and how it can be stopped. Using the right health terminology can make a difference, said Dr. Adam Ademba, stressing that failure to put stories in their proper perspectives could send wrong signals. Journalists at the forum also took time to ask questions and seek clarifications on technical issues in order to relay appropriate information about TB. For GRTS News, I am Abdullah Baji.
A center of excellence building skills and smiles amid every important state-of-the-art facility critical for tourism studies exemplifies the new outlook of the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute in Kanifing. The institute is designed to be a leading center for tourism studies in the sub-region. Ibrahim Jata reports the inauguration of the center is expected to inject fresh impetus in the tourism sector.
For me, this is a very important occasion because I think it's a step forward.
A catalyst to colossal heights. The new look of the Gambia Tourism and Hospitality Institute symbolizes the first scheme engineering tourism development under a considered strategy, putting education at the wheel of a vital sector. This institute now offers more than 100 specialities in hotel, travel and hospitality studies.
I think that in our offer of new courses, we will offer over 150 positions in the industry, not just the traditional waiters and cooks and all of this that is very important, but also we will provide training in the areas of events, in the areas of farming, in the areas of sports, in the area of entertainment, because we want to provide the industry every single position that is there. We will have people capable of doing it and do it properly.
That's Jose Cardenas, the new Director General of an establishment promoting excellence towards the building.
Back with news from outside the Gambia after this break. Welcome back. President Barack Obama is continuing his wide-wing tour of Middle East countries with a brief stop in Jordan. The tiny Middle Eastern state is battling slow economic growth and also witnessing an influx of refugees from war-torn Syria. Jordanians of all ages are worried about the future of their struggling economy. We have details of that story in the CNN report.
Assalamualaikum yéen ñi nga xam ne yéen a ngi seetaan Gambia Radio and Television Services man la seen xarit Maam Jeng borom bakku yéen da ngeen ko yëngal man ma di ko yëngal fii ci GRTS.
Hello, I'm Mudiwa, and I'm sure you've never heard about the weekly buzz before, but I will be buzzing into your homes every single week to bring you the latest buzz in town, only on GRTS.
Jela mincham apalu alteri mala mincham sen harit live sub connect GRTS.
Damane, kan mo am fit pour taxaw live reeloma nga ree ñepp dal di haatay man Abdoulaye Badji ci bir GRTS pare neen pour xam who is the Gambia's funniest comedian te so leen pare we gonna Gangnam Style.
Open Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
By the bright colors and bustling atmosphere. There's a feeling of deep anxiety in Jordan these days. Even the wise men at the local barber shop say they're worried. I've never seen the economy this bad before, says 81-year-old Walid Khayat. But the most important thing, he adds, is for us to stay stable. Analysts say Mr. Khayat has good reason to be nervous.
On top of all the internal economical problem and the anger that has appeared in the past 2 years in the street, you have all the problems of the neighboring countries impacting Jordan. And it is a nightmare.
For the past 2 years, a brutal civil war has been raging next door in Syria, sending more than 450,000 refugees pouring into Jordan. Syrians now compete with Jordanians for scarce jobs, real estate, and even water. Jordan is one of Washington's most dependable allies in the Middle East. Both governments enjoy close military and intelligence cooperation. But this small desert kingdom has not escaped the ripples of the Arab Spring. Last November, riots erupted across the country when fuel prices jumped. Popular anger exacerbated by high-profile corruption, like this scandal that landed the head of the state development company in jail and left this pricey downtown real estate project frozen. The feeling of gloom has set in even here on the brand new campus of the American University in Madaba.
These are tough times in Jordan.
Yeah. And unemployment is really high, and Jordanians, they're worried about the future. They're worried about, like, yeah, we're living right now, but what's going to happen in the future, you know?
So it's very difficult to judge the amount of discontent at this particular time. But it is there. There is no doubt about it. And it's up to the government to work well, to reestablish credibility, and to convince people that it is on the right path of reform.
Our apologies for the slight delay in the story. South Africa's President Jacob Zuma has called on police to have more esteem for civilian rights during an address celebrating the country's Human Rights Day. And clashes between rival gangs have continued in Egypt, near the headquarters of the ruling Muslim Brotherhood in Cairo. For more of those and other stories, let's take a look at the CFI News Roundup.
Supporters and opponents of Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood clashed outside the party's headquarters in a suburb of Cairo. Despite the intervention of riot police, activists ransacked the building. More than 120 people were injured in the fighting. Similar protests erupted in violence in Alexandria, the country's second largest city, and in Mahalia. Opponents of Egypt's President Mohamed Morsi accuse him of having betrayed the revolution and of having failed to address the country's social and economic problems. UN Special Envoy Christopher Ross arrived on Friday in Laayoune in Western Sahara. Mr. Ross will attempt to reopen a direct dialogue between the Moroccan government and Western Saharan separatists. An offer by Morocco to grant Western Sahara greater autonomy was rejected